So in this lesson, let me just okay. We are going to talk about uh, speaking part two, and the topic here is about sports. And I'm not so sure if you are really very interested in sports. Yes, are you? Do you guys have any interest in sports? And
Kind of.
kinda, right? So, and how about Tron? Do you have any interest in sports?
Maybe
Maybe
just
yes.
some types of sport.
Uh-huh. Because I just thought that most girls actually are not very keen on sports. I mean, some girls are not very keen on sports. Yeah. So because let's try here some topic speaking part two about sports, right? And the question here is about describing a sport or game that you like to watch or play. And you should say why you like to watch or play this sport or game, where you watch or play this sports or game, how much it costs to watch or play this sports or game, and briefly explain how the game is played. Okay, so in here, as I have told you before, that when we answer our speaking part two, we should have a very a natural opening and not memorize. Okay, and the points are clearly and smoothly stated like you are telling a story. So I believe that girls are, as I've told you always in the past, that girls are better storytellers than boys, or women are better storytellers than men. All right, because when you ask men where have they been last night, they've just say I've been to my friend's house. Finish. That's enough. All right. But when you ask women where have you been last night, they tell you a lot of things. They would say like, well, last night before I went to my friend's house, we first decided what clothes to wear, and then and when we arrived there, we had a short party, and then we gather all of us there, and they tell a lot of things. Okay, like they can spend talking more than men. Okay, so not surprisingly, my sister actually can withstand or can sustain talking 4 or 5 hours with friends, but me, I could only sustain like 1 or 2 hours talking with friends, or even lower than that. Okay, but not 4 hours. So I think it's much easier for you to tell a story, okay? Because inherently, as as uh, as women or a girl, you have this inner, what is that? Inner, like I would say, natural ability to tell a story. Okay, so that is why in here, before we talk about sports and yeah, before we talk about sports and tell a story about our experiences in watching a sport or playing a sport, let us have first here um, vocabs. Okay, so learn some useful words and phrases to talk about sports. Okay, so we have here words 1 to 5, words and phrases 1 to 5. So could you please tell me which words or phrases here 1 to 5 that you are not very much familiar with.
Number three.
Number three, to set a record. Okay, so if you set a record, it means that you have achieved something either in sports or in any competition. Okay, any competition, not just in sports. You can be competing in a speech contest, for example, or math contest, or any competitions. Okay, so if you set a record in any competition, you are the first person to achieve with the highest record. Okay, the only person who got that record so far. For example, in the field of boxing, right? In the Philippines, we have this very uh, iconic figure of boxing. His name is Manny Pacquiao. Yeah, and he has set a record. He's a world champion in boxing, and no one has ever reached that level of like number of wins and everything. All right. So setting a record means achieving something that no one else has achieved yet. All right. It's like yeah, like reaching the highest that no one else haven't reached yet. Okay. Any other words or phrase, numbers 1 to 5? All clear?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yes.
how about 6 to 10? So can you tell me which words and phrases here, 6 to 10, that you're not familiar with?
7.
7.
7. Okay, trial and error method. This trial and error method is a method when you try and fail, try and fail, try and fail until you succeed. Okay, so this trial and error method actually has been used by many successful personalities. Okay, uh, if you know, for example, the prominent basketball player Michael Jordan. All right, so he actually failed so many times. All right, and there was even a time that he was not accepted in the team. He was not accepted in the team, so he went home crying, and he said like, why did he join such the game? And from that day forward, he practiced every day and stay late, failed many shots and so on. He did a lot of trial and error method until he succeeded. The same thing with the famous icon, right, in the Philippines, Manny Pacquiao. He had many failures too before he succeeded. Yes, I watched his documentary, and he never failed once, twice, thrice, but so many times. Yes, but that persons who never give up, just like what you said to me, Chao Ang, right? That we keep on moving and doing a trial and error method, those persons actually will succeed in the future, right? Um, because giving up, all right, giving up is the only definition of failure. There's no such thing as failure. You fail when you give up. Yes. But when you fail and you don't give up, you what is that? You don't fail, you learn actually. Okay, so that's trial and error method. Next phrase. Finish. 8 to 5 to 10, 6 to 10, all clear.
Yeah.
Yes.
Mhm. Let's say 11 to 15.
15.
Number 15. Okay, so recreational activity. A recreational activity is any activity that uh, you found you found entertaining or interesting. All right, or yeah, entertaining or interesting. So that's recreational activity. So it can be sports, it can be watching a movie, it can be playing, for example, anything, bowling, badminton, anything, or swimming, anything that can make you feel relaxed is what we call recreational activity. So if I say, for example, what is your what is your uh, um, favorite recreational activity? So if examiner asks you that question, so you can easily say that, okay, my favorite recreational activity is swimming. Okay, so you can do exercise at the same time you can relax, right? So it's not only exercise, but it should also be relaxing. Okay, if you found exercise hard and not relaxing, that is not recreational activity. For example, weightlifting and yeah, and yeah, lifting weights is not recreational activity if you don't find it relaxing. If you find it like quite stressful, so you can't consider that one as a recreational activity. Reading book is an example also of recreational activity because you enjoy, you relax. Okay, listening to music. All right. So anything that you found interesting and relaxing is what we call recreational activity. Okay, all clear, right?
Yeah.
Okay, very good. So since everything is all clear, I'd like you to practice these words and phrases, okay? So that you can retain them in your mind, all right? So there are 15 words and phrases here that we can talk about sports. I'd like you to choose at least 9, okay? At least more than half of this number, okay? So choose 9 words and tell a story. Okay, so you can tell a story or talk about sports or what else? Make your story be real or fictional. So it doesn't matter how, for as long as you use words and phrases to talk about sports. Okay, so to do this, I'm going to give you 1 minute to prepare for an answer. Okay, 2 minutes. Yes, 2 minutes to prepare for an answer. All right, so timer starts now. Okay, so I think that time is up. So let us begin telling a story. Now let's start from Tran. Tran, are you ready?
Yeah.
Okay, so could you please share to us your story or talk about sports using at least 8 words and phrases here? Okay, can you start?
Um, the sport that I keen on these days is volleyball because when I studied at my old school, students usually play basketball, but when I moved to my new school, volleyball is really popular, and I really try to play volleyball, and like I can learn a new sport. So I usually practice the practice to play with my friends after school. Um, and at first I don't know how to play. Like I feel it's really hard and hard because the ball hit your hand and it's affect my hand really, yeah, really bad.
It hurts. Yes, it
And
hurts your
yeah,
arm.
yeah.
Hmm.
And but me and my friends keep practicing after the school time, and in the end of my school year, I can play it
Mhm.
quite well. Yeah,
Right.
and um, I think it does not cost much money because we
Hmm.
just need a place to play volleyball and a ball. We don't
Yes.
need more sports facilities or
Mm.
a center.
Correct.
And I think volleyball is quite easy to play. We just need to pass the ball to another team by our
Mm.
head, arms, or even our legs.
Mm.
We just need to pass to another team.
Correct.
And after playing it, I feel really sporty and
Mm.
energetic because after a day sitting in the class, I can exercise and yeah, I feel really relaxed.
Correct. Okay. Amazing. All right. That's good. So yeah, I am also keen on playing volleyball. I started playing volleyball when I was 12, but I play it very rarely. When I was 12, 13 until I reached age of 18, right? Good. How about Tran? Ang, I'm sorry. Ang, could you please tell us something about sports, all right? And use at least 8 words and phrases that we can use to talk about sports here.
Yes. So, since I was a kid, so every afternoon I used to play badminton as a recreational activity with my dad in my home in my yard.
Mm.
And I have always wanted to play it at a sports center, but that time my hometown didn't have any good sport facility, so I decided to play it at home with my father. And every time that I play with my dad, I always feel sense of enjoyment. And since that badminton is the sport in which I feel most confident, so I always have determi- determination to win, and of course that helps me to win my father in most matches. And this sport doesn't cost too much money because I only need a racket and a shuttlecock, and
Mhm.
I think that the price is from 100 uh to uh to 3,000 Vietnam dong. And I really like to take this exercise because it helps me to increase my flexibility and improve my health.
Perfect. Okay, I like that. Okay, so now since we have learned some new words and phrases here to talk about sports, let's now move on to yeah, let's skip the definition, right, of each words and phrases, and let's just move on directly to how to answer our speaking part two, right, by using the window method. Okay, so here is a window method. So again, during the exam, you have 1 minute preparation time. So the examiner is going to give you a piece of paper and a pen or a pencil, all right, for you to take down notes of your answers to the question. So when you receive the piece of paper, you have to put horizontal or vertical lines across, all right, and form a box, okay, or a window. And after that, you have to write on top about the topic. For example, here, sports, like to play or watch. And then you have to write down the keywords from the cue card. All right. So, for example, we have here why like, where play, how much cost play, and how played. And after that, maybe you can do this in about 5, 10 seconds, and then 5 seconds, I think. Then after that, so you have to take down notes. All right. So take down notes of your possible answer, and in here you can use your imagination, right? So you can use You can think, you should think faster in your talk, and you should think like you want to tell a story. You want to tell a story to someone who wants to listen to you telling him or her about the sports that you like to play or watch. Okay, so make sure that you sound interesting, all right? What is that? You sound interesting. You you speak naturally, okay, and you speak with flow as well. All right. So after you take down notes, then you begin your answer. Okay. So you begin your answer about the sports that is very that you have watched or you've played. Okay. So for example, I'm not going to read everything here, but in here an example here is about a sport that is very popular in the Philippines, and it's called basketball. Okay, and everyone knew about this. It's very popular because almost every corner, every country, every place, wherever you go, you can see a basketball ring. All right, and every people, like around 80% of people knows these sports, and that is why what is that? This has become one of the top sports in the Philippines. Okay, so I'm not gonna read everything here, but as you can see, the beginning sentence here doesn't start with "I'd like to talk about," "I want to talk about." It doesn't start that way. You should speak directly, and the flow of your essay or the flow of your speech, right, must be um, must be smooth. Okay, so let's try it on your own. Okay, so I'd like you to to have a short practice here, and I'd like you to think of a sports that you have watched or you have played. Okay, and I'd like you to make your own answer. All right, now I'd like you to describe a sport or a game that you like to watch or play, and you should say why you like to watch or play this sport or game, where you watch or play this sport or game, how much it costs to watch or play this sport or game, and I briefly explain how the game is played. Now, what you need to do is you have to prepare for 2 minutes. Instead of 1 minute, I'm going to give you 2 minutes to prepare so that you can focus on uh, good answer, and as much possible you have to use some of the words and phrases that we studied today. Okay, so I'm gonna give you 1 to 2 minutes, no, 2 minutes to prepare for an answer. All right, 2 minutes preparation starts now. Okay, 2 minutes is up. So let's hear who's ready. Are you all ready to give your answer?
Mm,
Yes. Okay. So let's begin. Can I begin with Tran? Is it okay, Tran?
yeah,
Okay. So, okay, Tran, could you please share to us your answer about sports that that you like to watch or play? I'll give you time. You should finish. Try to finish at least 2 minutes. Okay. Okay.
yeah.
Please. Yeah. Please begin
And
speaking now.
the sport that I prefer to watch is volleyball too, because I really like to play volleyball, but there are some skills that I cannot use while playing it. So I want to watch the professional player to play it and use it while they are um, playing volleyball, so that I can learn from it and like practicing it at my school. And I usually watch volleyball in on YouTube
Mhm.
because I can choose what videos that I want to watch, and yeah, what I can choose the person that I want to watch. Yeah, and I think it's to play volleyball we do not need so much money, but if you want to uh play it in the competition, I
Mhm.
think we need to hire a hire someone to practice it with you and
A
teach
coach.
you how to win. Yeah.
A coach. Yes. Mhm.
And I think it's quite easy to play, but there are some rules that we have to know so that we not do it when we playing.
Mhm.
Yeah. And we just need to pass the ball to another team to win. Yeah.
All right.
And
Very.
do this. Yeah.
Okay. Time. 2 minutes is up. Thank you. Very good. That's nice. Okay. So, we have reached. You have reached nearly 2 minutes. Okay. So you only need like 5 seconds left, but that's okay. All right. So I think right now, you can speak at length. All right. So what we need to focus right now is to the word stress, but for the vocab and the length of your speech, yes, we can. You have worked it out. Now, Ang, I'd like you to tell us again your story about the sports you like to watch or the sports that you play.
Yes. So everyone know that taking up exercise will help people to have a good health and uh, um, beautiful body.
Mm,
However, I think that depend on each person personality and their different choice.
mm,
So they they have their own choice on what they want to play most, and
mm,
what it the sports that are also known as a recreational activity that I like and always want to practice is basketball.
mhm,
And what makes me interested in basketball is because it is a healthy sport that helps me in increase my height and
height, yes.
strength
Mm,
and also endurance the
endurance.
of the body.
Mm,
And this sport all also helps people to relieve stress after every hour of work. And
mm,
normally I usually play basketball during my uh, in my school or I played after school with my friends at a park that near my school.
mhm,
And one thing about playing basketball is that it doesn't cost too much because uh, people only need a large court, a basketball, and a basket court post,
Mhm.
and maybe a group of friends about 3 to 5 people for
Yeah.
each team. And for clothes and shoes, if you feel comfortable, you can wear anything that you want. And from what I have learned, the first thing when I'm playing basketball is practice hitting the ball.
Mhm.
And
Shooting the ball. Mm.
yes, next is the skill of throwing the ball into the basket.
Mhm.
You need to lift your feet wider and then your shoulders and your knees slightly lower, and
Mhm.
the direction of the ball in and need to be in the center of the basket. And anyway, I still haven't played this sport much, so I want that during this summer break I will practice playing basketball more often to improve my health and my skill.
Wow, very nice. Okay, basketball and volleyball. Okay, so I like both of these sports. So I think both of you actually have reached 2 minutes again. So, but anyway, we still have time to practice your speaking. So right now we just have to accumulate vocabs, right? And soon we will be focusing on word stress and accent reduction. Okay, which could actually give you a significant good score in speaking. Okay, so if we have mastered word stress, sentence stress, and accent reduction. Okay, so that is all for speaking. All right, and now we move on to our writing task.